امسكي بقى كمان من هنا كده، امسكي كده من تحت على أول بطر في الحتة دي، أول خط.
عندنا فيديو جرامر،
تاني خط.
عندنا جرامر فيديو،
تالت خط.
مش هنسجل.
بس انت كده عازفة فلوت رائعة.
Hello everyone, I'm Mariam and today we're going to practice the grammar you need to indicate the duration of an activity that began in the past and continues to the present. The other lesson, we use it to emphasize is the duration of an activity that was in progress before another action or time in the past.
So these two lessons are more complicated than usual. The present perfect progressive and the past perfect progressive.
We'll figure out how to form them and how and when to use them. And we're going to give you some examples at the end of the video to be sure that you have understood all this lesson so well. And now Malik will explain you the name of the tense.
So I will let you know the meaning and the form of the lesson from its own name. So with the meaning, present perfect progressive means that it indicates an activity that started in the past and so continues in the present. For example here, I have been sitting here since 7 o'clock. So in 7 o'clock in the past, he started sitting and he is still in the duration of sitting until now. And with the form, perfect means have or has or had. And we have to use have and has because it's the present perfect. And progressive means verb plus ing. So the form of it is have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. For example, I have been walking all afternoon. حلو كده ده عم بص ايه متقطع. Now Mariam will explain to you the form of the lesson.
Okay, first the affirmative form of the verb have or has plus been plus the infinitive form of the verb plus ing. For example, I have been working all afternoon. She has been sweeping the floor all afternoon. You have been spending a lot of money lately. They have been watching the news all afternoon. Okay, verbs ending in E like live, close, or wipe. We drop the E. For example, I have been living here for quite some time. For another example, they have been wiping the floor. Okay, so now Sohaila will continue the form.
Okay, now let's start with the question. First, have or have, the auxiliary verb to have plus the past participle of the verb to be been plus verb ing. Has is for she, he, or it. Has she been talking about him? Another example for have for I, they, you, we. Have you been playing tennis? In the negative, we just add not to the auxiliary verb to have. Okay, so it becomes haven't or hasn't. Example, I haven't been listening to the news, or she hasn't been waiting for them. And now Malik will explain you how to use the present perfect progressive.
So the first use of the present perfect progressive that it indicates a duration of an activity that started in the past and so continues in the present. For example, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. So 2 hours ago he started sitting and he's still in the duration of sitting until now. As an example, you have been studying for 5 straight hours. Why don't you take a break? So 5 hours ago he started studying and he's still studying until now. The second use that when the tense is used without any specific mentions of time, it expresses a general activity in progress recently, lately. For example, I have been thinking about changing my major. So this is an action recently is going to happen. Another example, all of the students have been studying hard. Final exam starts next week. So the final exam is recently is going to happen. And now we have finished the present perfect progressive. Let's move on to the past perfect progressive. So I'm going to let you know the meaning and the form of the past perfect progressive from its own name. So with the meaning, the past perfect progressive emphasizes the duration of an activity that was in progress before the activity or time in the past. For example, I had been watching the news. Okay, so this is the meaning. With the form, perfect means have or has or had, and we have to use had because it's the past perfect. And progressive means verb plus ing. So the form of it is had plus been plus verb plus ing. For example, I had been walking all night. انت مش بتعرف تلعب، انا بعرف العب.
And now the affirmative form of past perfect continuous. So let's begin. Had plus been plus the infinitive form of a verb plus ing. For example, she had been swimming, they had been eating, I had been living here.
And now Sohaila will continue the form. First here with the question we add had plus been plus verb ing. Examples, had you been playing tennis? Another example, had they been doing their job? But in the question we add not. Had not contracted to hadn't. Plus been plus verb ing. I hadn't been working all night. Another example, she hadn't been sweeping the floor. And now Malik will explain you how to use the past perfect progressive.
Okay, so now let's see how to use the past perfect progressive. So the first use that it emphasizes the duration of an activity that was in progress before another activity or time in the past. For example, the police had been looking for the criminal for 2 years before they caught him. Okay, and the second use that it also expressed an activity in progress close in time to another activity or time in the past. For example, I went to Jane's house after the funeral. Her eyes were red because she had been crying.
I hope you said well.
Thank you for watching.
See you soon.
And goodbye.